Hey friends, welcome back to another video. This week I want to take you along with me as I clean up my back porch, plant some herbs, and then at the end of this video we are going to be planting our garden. We had built the first half of the porch last summer, and then because we made it so narrow, we decided to go ahead and extend it all the way out to the other end of the building. We have our basement dug out for the house right in front of the porch, so we couldn't really make the porch any bigger than it is now. But it is nice to have it longer so that we have more room. The kids have more room to run and play, and it makes it easier for me to hang up my laundry. Today was one of those beautiful sunny spring days, so I got the kids outside with me and we're just going to pick up all of these wood pieces that were cut off from when my husband built the porch. And as you can see in the background, he is also working on a little shed or a little room for our generator to be in. Since we live off-grid, our generator is our only source of power. I'll be sure to share that process with you guys once it is finished. We got our dog when she was still a puppy, and she really made a big mess on the porch, especially when it was raining and muddy. So we are going to clear everything off of the porch. It just kind of accumulates during the winter because we don't really spend a lot of time out here. And then we're going to sweep the floor and get to pressure washing. We always spend a lot of time on our porch, especially during the summer, so I'm excited to have this all cleaned up so that when we sit out here, we can just relax and enjoy being outside, and it'll be all nice and clean. I was not able to get all the paw prints and the mud off of the door as well as the wall behind the swing, so I did have to go in with a scrubber and some cleaner and really scrub that off. Jacob really enjoyed this part of the project. He was able to play in my water with all the bubbles, and he ended up getting wet as well, so I had to get him and Susanna changed, and then we came back to this project the next day. I got a little rosemary plant when I did a grocery haul for you guys, and I am just now getting it planted. I had it in on my windowsill, just waiting until the weather warmed up so that I could put it outside. This other rosemary plant that I just pulled out, unfortunately, didn't make it through the winter. I had moved it into another room in the house and then I forgot to water it. But this one, I have been trying to remember to water it every week, and so far it is surviving, and I'm going to plant it outside, and hopefully it will make it through the summer. Last summer when we moved, I had bought some tea at the greenhouse, and I was going to add it to my tea bed at home, but then I decided to just bring it with us to our new place. And then we didn't really have anywhere to put it, so I just planted it into these 5-gallon buckets. And then because the roots weren't underground, it didn't survive the winter, so I just pulled those roots out and then I put some of the soil back into the other planters that I got. And then we're just going to plant our herbs into these new planters and have them sitting on our porch. That way, if I need some, I can just go out on my porch and cut off what I need. I have a lot of dreams for planting things like asparagus, rhubarb, and then also maybe some berries and things like that. But first, we need to wait until we build the house so that nothing gets destroyed during the excavating. So for now, we're just going to do some herbs on the porch, and then we also ended up planting a little bit in our garden that my husband was able to plow later in the week. We really neglected our Blackstone over the winter, and it just turned into a big rusty mess. So whenever we first moved into our house, we used this Blackstone to do all of our cooking, and we loved it. We just cooked outside, the mess stayed outside, and I didn't have to worry about cleaning my kitchen after I was done cooking. And also it helps when you don't have AC to kind of keep the heat out of the kitchen. So this summer I am planning on doing a lot more cooking on my Blackstone, so I need to get this cleaned up so that we can get to making lots of food on it again. I forgot to film the part where I was actually scrubbing the griddle, but I just took some Dawn dish soap and scrubbed it with a metal scrubber until I felt like I got as much off as I could, and then I turned the burners on high and just let it smoke until I could scrape the rest of the rust off. After it was that hot for about 10 to 15 minutes, all the rest of the rust just kind of flaked off. Then I went in with some lard and just covered the entire top of the griddle with lard and turned the burners back on high and let it smoke for about 10 to 15 minutes again. I did this until it was no longer rusty and it had a good coat of seasoning on it. Today I'm making one of my family's favorite summertime drinks. This is called Rhubarb Juice. I canned it a few weeks ago after one of our friends gave us a big pile of rhubarb. We love this for whenever it's hot outside. It's a really good electrolyte, so if you don't want to drink things like Gatorade or something like that, this is a good alternative. I have this recipe on my website. I will leave a link in the description box below if you want to go and check it out. I was not able to find some parsley whenever I was out getting all of the other herbs, so I had to wait until later when I found some. This is probably one of my most used herbs, especially for canning projects, so I was really glad that I found some. We also got some tomato and pepper plants, along with some onion starts and potatoes. I am super excited to have a garden this summer. This will be the first garden that we have here at our new place. Last year we were in the process of moving, so we didn't get to plant anything, so it'll be nice to have a garden again this summer. If you are someone like me and you like to grow your own food and preserve the harvest, then hit that subscribe button and come join us for a fun summer full of canning, gardening, and all the other fun things that go along with homesteading. As always, thanks for watching. I'll see you next week.